Okay, good morning, friends. We were talking about power, legitimacy, and authority. The earlier, right, in the earlier topic, uh, all of them look related topics, but there are slight differences, as we have noted. Power is that kind of that entity with which one can get things done. So power is always aspired for. Usually, it's a human aspiration. One of the human aspirations to, in fact. Seize the power, get into power structures, and rule over. So it is very common, even in the simple societies, for people to aspire for power. But as we have noted, in the most simplest societies, like the bands and the tribes, the quest for power is absolutely not so very deep, and people would settle for group or collective conscience. Group decision makings are the norm, okay, or is the norm. Then what about authority? Authority is when power is accepted by the people, then it is authority. And when both are combined, it leads to legitimacy. Legitimacy means some kind of acceptance by the people that these are the legitimate rulers, legal rulers of the people. Okay, when people accept them and completely, like, even at times submit themselves, surrender themselves to the authority of the power that be, or powers that be, then it is called legitimacy. So legitimacy, power, and authority are also studied by these political anthropologists or the anthropologists of political science in relation to each other. So in many societies, we have noted power structures are diffused, especially in the lowest level of existence, and from chiefdoms, the ranked societies emerge, and the chiefs are the ones who have power and who exercise power along with his council. So the chiefs, their council, the chiefs are usually along with their nobles and their family members also get the maximum or some a good share from the collected food and resources, and they redistribute them among the people. And while doing so, they'll completely, like, they'll be like asserts. They'll rule over the entire territory, and many times they invoke the divine legitimacy for their rule. That also we have noted. And in the advanced state societies, we have noted, like in kingdoms and state level societies, then naturally there are governments. In monarchies, there are, of course, there are hereditary kings or monarchs, and in democracies and in modern states, they are the result of the elected councils, and people's decisions are final in these political structures. So power is, like, ultimately belongs to people according to theory and according to constitutions. But in practice, the individuals who wield enormous clouds in the public life, they have the power in them, and within them they exercise the power along with their councils, and that results into government. The functioning part of the state is called the government, and government has bureaucracy, machinery, officialdom, and they're also called as permanent civil servants in countries where they are elected, or rather selected by merit based examinations. These are called permanent executive, whereas the executive which is elected by the people is called the political executive. So the executive wing of the government is, like, very much clearly visible to the people in action, whereas the other organs of the state, like judiciary and legislature, also are important. Moving to the next slide. So, what are the characteristics of power according to Ferguson and Adams? Cultural feature. It's actually a cultural feature. It is acquired and it is a historical product, because people usually do not give up away power. Correct? Nobody comes forward and gives away power. It is acquired, and it became a vital part in the human life. It becomes a vital part of the human life only when humans acquire differential access to resources and social hierarchy. right? So when everybody like are divided in the society, they stand out in different social strata, then it is necessary. And the power is defined and used according to cultural standards based on it is different in different societies, as we have noted. In tribes and bands, nobody like will try also. Some people only. Many people do not even try for power. Even in our society, people would not love to become politicians. Correct? Most of us do not want to become politicians. Just like that, and it is of a traditional and non-traditional nature, hereditary and non-hereditary, and formal and informal. Formal means it is through the formal elections, formal oath taking, etc. Some people become informal without even any post. They are powerful, like certain businessmen, certain people in the community, wealthy people, even though they are not any political representatives, they still wield enormous power. It is of sacred and secular nature. It is absolutely unlimited. It also has these dimensions like charismatic and non-charismatic. Charismatic means it comes from their charisma. The kind of people call it as even charisma. Charisma correct kaadu. So it is actually charisma. Charisma bolte hain log. Actually, it is charisma. Okay, like this, many features of power are there. Now, what is legitimacy? As you can see on the screen, it is a right to govern or rule or exercise authority. So something like a right. Some people, as I told you, they have a legal backing, and many times the laws are the result of the customs, the conventions, customs and convention, constitutions, and in some primitive societies and simple societies, they are the result of divine ordinance. As far as these societies are concerned, they believe very strongly in the divine incarnations, divine blessings, divine rulings. Then people, priests get someone like the god appears in their dreams and asks someone to be picked up. That priest will pick up someone as a chief. Something like that happens. Okay, so in dreams also they get some messages from the gods, so they become legitimate rulers based on that. Okay, so they have the capacity. That legitimacy also is has a connotation of capacity to produce and maintain a belief that the existing political system is most suitable to the society. So people have to claim that. See, like in elections, in democracies in India, etc., everywhere in these democratic countries, people fight for election in elections and claim that look, I am the most suitable candidate. You please elect me, and I have the capacity to produce and maintain, right? And I will show that I will join a political party. I'll work towards the upper echelons of the political party. I'll work towards maintaining this knowledge and this belief that this existing political system is correct for you, and I will deliver. And it is related to the entire political system. It is a belief which leads the people to accept that it is morally right and proper for officials or leaders to make binding rules. So it is everything like some kind of right, belief. All this comes acceptance, moral, right, customary. All this come in the background of legitimacy. Every political system strives for legitimacy. Correct. So that means they need to have that political stamp of approval. Simply put, in our simple understanding, it's something like a stamp of approval. Do you remember we were talking about legitimacy earlier as well in the definition of marriage? The the legitimacy of the child. If the child is like claimed as a legitimate child of the couple, born to the woman in a bond that is between the man and the woman, then that is a marriage. Correct. So that is a social background, social approval. Society has to approve. Here also, more or less the same thing. Society has to have that approval for a certain person or a group of people to rule over them. It all started like many thousands of years back. There is an idea called social contract theory. There is a theory put forward by historians and political scientists that the society enters into a contract with a single person. roughly, it's not a written contract. It's like a, it is a deemed contract. It is like a implied contract, implied understanding that this man, who is a powerful man, he has the capacity to protect these people from thieves and burglars, dacoits, marauding tribes, warring tribes, and also enemy kings. Then the people will give him some tributes. People will pay some tributes in the form of maybe gifts, some gold, certain ornaments, certain food items like articles, milk, vegetables. Sir, pura, matlab, they will, some of them also volunteer to accompany the king as part of his army and police. Gradually, that fellow becomes bigger. He tries to control more territory, and then kingdoms started. Kingdoms became states, and power is that more important thing that these people try to get as well as protect. So, who has given the legitimacy then to the person? The people. People have given, people themselves ask him to protect them such that they will peacefully carry out their activities, whether agriculture or other works. But one will be guarding them, they will be protecting them. So it's like a social contract. So society will enter into a contract, some kind of an understanding with the person or a group of people to protect them. That will become your legitimacy. Then naturally, through the legitimacy, what is he? What is he getting? Power. Then what they have given to them? Authority. Like this, also you can write. And this theory you can write in the initial first 2 3 lines of introduction. Then you put all these equations in every society, in a band how it looks like, as I told you, in a tribe how it is carried out, in a chiefdom, in a kingdom, and in a states. All the things I have spoken in this class, you can note down them. Then make a notes on your own, right? Okay. And also I think I've already shared the material on the app that is available for you. You can check it out. So again, legitimacies of personal ideological structure. This is all very theoretical stuff. This much you should not write in the exam. It's only for your general understanding. So authority, as I told you, authority is equal to legitimate power. According to Max Weber, we have noted this as well yesterday. And authority is also called as institutionalized power in one understanding. Institutionalized means something which got very deeply, like as I told you, even in the context of marriage and family. Institutionalization means going very deep, getting into like, it is something like a big tree having very deep roots. And in other understanding, we can even see there authority is a right to take certain actions and commands and allocate resources, collect taxes, etc. So authority, some kind of, people say it is in Telugu we call it as adhikaram. And this adhikaram, this authority depends on the amount of power at the disposal of the person or center or government. So exactly, coming to the Constitution of India, okay, as far as Indian political system is concerned, this disposal, how much power is available at that power at that person's disposable, is guided by the Constitution. There are limits to the powers of the executive as well as the legislature, even the courts, even the judiciary. If we have a limited government, that means the Constitution puts limits on the people. So this much only power he can exercise. The moment it crosses the limits, that means it is trampling upon the fundamental rights of the people or rights of the people. Then it's not good for the democracy. So there are always like some written, unwritten rules, written as well as unwritten rules, which guide this kind of how much power is available, how much amount of power is at the disposal of the people or group of people or the government also. Okay, and you can see there are three sources of power as well, authority as well: traditional authority, charismatic authority, and legal authority. Again, this is given by Max Weber. Max Weber is an extraordinary German thinker. He is like, he comes in many dimensions. He's a philosopher. He's like he's taken I mean, guide. He's a part and parcel of political science, public administration, sociology, and even a bit of anthropology. Only slightly in anthropology, but like 5 to 6 disciplines talk about Weber. and his most like contribution is strong contribution is in this aspects, and he goes very like deeply into what kind of legal rational all that, what kind of power is best, what kind of authority is best. When this the kind of power or authority that is accepted by the people is number one best, and the kind of machinery, government machinery, which is trained, very well trained, and it follows the rules. That is rule based bureaucracy. That too, appointed after after conducting merit based examinations. Merit based selection should be the criterion in appointing these people, he says. So, legal rational authority is very important. In fact, that rational is missing there. Legal rational authority karke he says. It should be legal, that means it should be backed by laws and constitutions, which are again backed by people. And of course, when these are all done, they are rational. That means they are logical. They are not like illogical that some traditional, like in traditional authority, some, as I told you, someone like ruled 1,000 years back. His family is continuing. It is coming in a hereditary form. How can that same powerful person again, like his kind of a rule will be followed by his own sons and grandsons? It is not possible. The traditional power or authority is actually backed by religion. As I told you, the priest will come and give a blessing. There are some group of people who again support the king or the emperor, the king or the emperor, and even in case of our simple societies, chiefdoms, these people support the rule of the chief, because he is a hereditary ruler. He is like having divine powers. He has been given a divine appointment. The God has actually selected him. The same things are said for king also. Many times kings are treated as embodiments of king, divine incarnations. They are given the name of the like incarnation, like avatar. They are the avatars of gods. So like that, traditionally these people enjoyed the power and authority. Naturally, people also believe, since they believe religion very much, people believe in religion and fear the gods and goddesses. They think that lest if we unnecessarily go and disturb this fellow, the gods will show their anger on us. Okay, so in this fashion, traditional authority, traditional power dominates. Charismatic one, next one, charismatic one is something like which is actually based on the name and charm. It is based on the word charm. Charm of a person, like the movie actors. We have not, movie actors become politicians. They become ministers, chief ministers, and it is not even like it is even. It was there in America. Ronald Reagan was a Hollywood actor. Ronald Reagan, who served as a president of America, he also was a Hollywood actor. In many countries, movie actors enter into politics because of the charisma, sorry, the charm that their face has, their personality has. People follow them like deities. They have cult status. Then recently, Pawan Kalyan also become deputy chief minister in Andhra Pradesh. It is what, which kind of power he has used or authority? Charismatic, based on the personal charm and attraction, name, fame gotten from another field. Not like he's like a politician from day one. So these are the types of authorities. And lastly, as I have told you, legal authority or legal rational authority is the one which has the backing of the people through direct elections, or maybe like in parliamentary democracies, direct elections. So elected leaders have both power and authority. That is, it is legal rational authority. Okay.